know what I mean when I say an eyewitness? Like what an eyewitness is? Yeah, so you saw it firsthand, right? So can you give me an example? It can be anything. So maybe like if you're, go ahead. Okay, yeah, so you could see a bee and you could tell your friend, hey, I saw some bees while I was out, and they would maybe believe you because you said you saw it firsthand, right? Okay? Or maybe you're driving with your parents and a dog goes running across the street, and then the next thing you know, somebody's like, hey, I lost my dog. Have you seen a dog running? Well, and maybe you did. You could say, yeah, we just saw one, right? And they would believe you because you said you saw it. Well, I'm waiting for you. We're ready. In today's lesson, in today's Bible story, there's a bunch of disciples, a bunch of people, and they saw Jesus. And there was another person there, and they didn't get to see Jesus. And so these guys are telling them, hey, we saw Jesus, and they're like the eyewitnesses. But Thomas has a really hard time believing, even though they're telling him that they saw, right? So Thomas says, well, maybe I'll believe if if I get to touch Jesus. So they heard what he said, but they needed more proof. But had those disciples not been eyewitnesses, Thomas wouldn't have even known to ask for Jesus to show up again. So I had a job that I thought maybe you guys could do for me during church today. Because sometimes we forget that we're eyewitnesses. Do you want to sit next to me? Sometimes we forget that we're eyewitnesses. So I have these big eyes. Do you know whose eye this is? This was actually Pastor Steve's idea, this eye. I had a regular old eye, and he thought this was a better one. Do you know whose eye this is? You know that guy from Monsters, Inc., the little green monster, Mike? All right, does anybody else need an eye? You guys need eyes? Wyatt, you want an eye back there? There you go. So, you're going to have a job with this eye during church. If you stay during church, and you're going to help out the grown-ups. So every time you hear something, or see something, or feel something about God, you get to hold it up. And it's like you saying, I witness God right now. And so it could be when we're singing a song. It could be if you come up for communion, that's the time you witness God. It could be if somebody shakes your hand or gives you a hug. So I want to see how many times you can witness God during our church service, okay? You understand your job today? Awesome. All right, let's hold hands in prayer. Got it? Do you want to hold her hand? Perfect. All right. Dear God.
Dear God.
Help us to see you.
Help us to see you.
Feel you.
Feel you.
And hear you.
And hear you.
And help us to be good witnesses.
And help us to be good witnesses.